The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. Glory to you, Lord. Many of the Jews had come to Martha and Mary to comfort them about their brother Lazarus who had died. When Martha heard that Jesus was coming, she went to meet him, but Mary sat at home. Martha said to Jesus, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. But even now I know that whatever you ask of God, God will give you." Jesus said to her, "Your brother will rise." Martha said, "I know he will rise in the resurrection on the last day." Jesus told her, "I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, even if they die, will live. And anyone who lives and believes in me will never die. Do you believe this?" She said to him, "Yes, Lord. I have come to believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God, the one who is coming into the world." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
I know, you know, that at some point, Martha got the point. As she announces today, this is a little more than about halfway through John's Gospel, but we first meet Martha when she's annoyed. But that doesn't mean that she did not continue to seek to know Jesus and believe in him. And as John writes, really on all of our behalf, "Lord, I believe. I have come to know that you are the Christ, the Son of God." Today is the 28th, and it has long been, 29th today, long been the memorial of St. Martha. And yet in 2021, Pope Francis included in this feast of Martha, Mary, and Lazarus. I suspect the intention at that time of Pope Francis is that we see probably a couple of things. The fact that Jesus really had personal friends. I don't know that we think about the apostles as business associates. I don't think we think that way. But they were personal friends. But it seems Martha and Mary and Lazarus were kind of on a different level. They were personal in the sense that we're given the impression that Jesus regularly visited with them, stayed with them, and they were friends. There was affectionate love. That should tell us really a little more about Jesus in a real and literal way. I know many of you, not all, but many of you are familiar with and are watching and looking forward to the various seasons of The Chosen. It has come to my mind that, and I think it's quite natural and nothing wrong with it, but sometimes don't you think Jesus is made a little too human? How can that guy really be God? Sometimes you can feel that it's all just a little too real. But isn't that the point? Because we could also look at it from the other direction. If he's really God, which we say he is, then what does that really mean about us? I think, I never read it, but I believe it's true, that Francis had in mind that we really have this vision or image of Jesus sharing in the family life of Martha, Mary, and Lazarus. And it wasn't always perfect. No family is. Do you suppose even the closest friends of Jesus often thought, "Oh, he can be so irritating at times"? When you say, well, you can't say that because, he's God. You can't say that. Martha became annoyed with him. "Lord, don't you care that Mary's not helping me?" It is inevitable, even with the Lord. Now, you know, because I know, and you know that I know, and I know that you know, that people complain, well, I've been praying about this and that and the other thing, and, God never answers my prayer. Well, that's really a complaint against God. And sometimes, well, okay, that's a human emotion. It's a human expression in reality. But it's clear that by intention, it's portrayed that Martha and Mary, quite naturally, have different personalities. We would say that Martha is more the extrovert, perhaps, but she's the doer. We would say that Mary would incline to be more introverted. She's the contemplative, reflective one. It doesn't mean she's lazy. It doesn't mean she doesn't know how to do dishes. It just means they have different personalities. And then you have the personality of Jesus in there. And we don't know much really about Lazarus. Not that it's important to point out, but nonetheless, they seem to be a rather well-to-do, stable family financially. We don't know really, particularly what Lazarus did as a source of living, business, work. But we do know, I've learned, that for the other disciples, the fishermen, fishing was very important at that time, and it was somewhat lucrative. So they would have been middle, maybe dare I say, as we would say today, middle or upper middle class. Fish were very important and a major part of the diet. So fishermen really made their money. No, I'm not saying that Lazarus was a fisherman. Maybe, I think, doesn't the chosen imply that he was an architect? Don't know. But it's a pretty well-to-do family, isn't it? Is it comforting to you to know that Jesus had a place where he could go and really rest in a decent bed and have a decent meal and really have warm and loving and affectionate friends? Don't you need that at times? Don't we all? We do. It's an important feast today because it helps us realize not only in maybe a little more human way how human Jesus was, but it should also tell us that is quite intentionally the purpose of the incarnation, so that you can be okay with the fact that sometimes you need a hug, sometimes you need friends, sometimes you need someone to just complain to, sometimes you have to put up with everybody else, just like family life. But so did God. So did God in Christ. We could have read, because we have that option to read the account of the complaining Martha and the contemplative Mary. It wouldn't fit the feast quite the same, would it? But here we see Martha in her strength. It's an obligatory feast. I didn't realize it called for the Gloria, but all the best, all the better. You notice how he sneaks that in very quickly, after I finish the penitential rite, because he doesn't want to get cut off. I know it was there. Right on time, too. Isn't he the best? Enjoy your day. You're one with God. God's one with you. If you complain about somebody, remember, they're probably complaining about you, too. Have a nice day.